Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn biology, today diabetes, and after we've done it, we're going to do martial arts basic training. And if you participate in the martial arts basic training, that's at your own risk. We did in the last part, did we do, I don't even know, it is negative feedback. No, not negative feedback. That was different food molecules. We will continue in the next part. And we already did 4 or 5 parts to diabetes, but now we want to come back and now we want to do a little presentation about it. Okay, we want to say shortly what diabetes is. At the beginning, diabetes is a problem with controlling the blood sugar in the blood. And there are 2 types of it. Type 1 is a genetic disorder, and then the pancreas is dumb, so in a sense of silent, is dumb, and it does not produce insulin or not enough, and insulin, and so the liver can't start to make glucose into glucosine to convert the too much glucose, the blood sugar, into glucosine. Diabetes type 2, where the cells are deaf. The pancreas is sending out the insulin. Okay, we're explaining at the beginning how it works. Insulin, but the cells of the liver do not respond on that command to make the excess glucose into glucose. No, we don't have enough to the treatment. Type 1 are injecting insulin. Okay, we're talking here about injections and diseases and diabetes and so on. Type 1 gets an injection. I don't want to say injects themselves, because not everyone who has type 1 does it. There are many people who don't know that they have type 1. Let's start with that. Yes, not really submittances to type 2. They have to control that they don't eat too much carbohydrate in one meal. So I think we keep it short and simple. Just what is it, not the treatment. What I am wondering if we say it at all, what we know to the treatment. Rather say nothing when something other people think that is what is to be said. I don't want to say control the diet. That's not enough. But it sounds like control the diet. Everyone has to make sure not to eat too much carbohydrates. That undermines the seriousness of the disease. And I don't want to say that it is injection by type 1 and not saying what it is to type 2. Maybe it's the only possible way to control the carbohydrates in one meal, but maybe we want to say that when we explain type 1, insulin can be injected, so that if the pancreas is not producing the insulin, it comes from the injection. We could say it there. Let's try not to say anything to the diet. We want to focus just on the disease. First, we're going to explain shortly. Diabetes is when the blood sugar amount in the blood is not properly. Normally, if the blood sugar is too high, the amount They didn't tell us on this page that glucose is blood sugar. It's a bit... What if it's not the same? I said it already in 2 videos which we made. Normally, when the blood sugar is too high, the pancreas is producing insulin, and the liver starts to convert this too much glucose into glucosane. Glucose in the blood, insulin, glucocaine in the liver. So glucose is blood sugar. Now by type 1, which is a genetic disorder, the pancreas is not producing this insulin, the pancreas is dumb, and so the liver never gets the insulin and never starts to convert the excess glucose into glucosane, and the blood sugar amount is too high. And now there are injections possible, injections of insulin who are then doing the job, because insulin comes from the injection. The pancreas down has to produce it. Type 2, where the cells do not respond, the cells are dumb to the insulin. The liver just does not start, as the insulin tells it, to do the converting of excess glucose into glucocaine. And that is when we end. Seven minutes in. It is a good learning effect if we're going to come back in a second video. Okay, what do you want to say? Glucose is a disease, diabetes is a disease by which the blood sugar amount is not properly controlled in the blood. By which the glucose amount or the blood sugar amount in the blood is not properly controlled. Normally, if it is measured with the blood sugar amount, the glucose amount is too high in the blood, then the pancreas is producing insulin, and this insulin then comes to the liver, and the liver then starts to convert excess glucose into glucosane and stores it. But by diabetes, there's something wrong with it. By diabetes type 1, which is a genetic disorder, the pancreas is not producing the insulin. The pancreas is dumb. And so insulin is never produced, and the liver never starts to convert excess glucose into glucosane. There are injections, insulin injections, and then the insulin comes from that source. Diabetes part 2, diabetes type 2, where the cells of the liver responding to the insulin, which was successfully produced by the pancreas. Are the people with both together? Certainly. It can't be both. It has to be with the people with both. And by type 2, they are dumb, but they are deaf, but don't react to the insulin. Now, if you were here for diabetes, you can go directly to the next part. Maybe we'll talk more about diabetes or make a presentation. We will do now the martial arts basic training. If you participate in the martial arts basic training, that's the technique. We bring one leg up and we're pointing with the foot down. And bring the other leg up and point with the foot down. And doing the guard down shortly. Heel onto the ground and pull the toes in, and move the leg from left to right. The other heel onto the ground and pull the toes in. Move the leg from left to right. And we're doing the train stop. Go to the side, the toes are pointing forward, stretching the inner side of the leg. And we're going over to the other side. Toes are pointing forward, stretching the inner side of the leg. And doing the mantis, go from side to side. Last two. Now we're doing lunges. Let's start with the front. Come back again. And again in front. Back. last two. And we're doing a shoulder snow plow. Knee up and back. 3 steps and the other knee up and back. 1 to 3 steps. Up, back. That was already the last time. And we're doing stretch kicks. Hand out and kick against it. Other hand out and kick against it. 3 steps. And the other hand out. And last two. And now we're doing a frog. Knee up and back. And again up and in. Up and back the other one. Sorry, last time. And crash can kicks up and back, up and in, double leg, up and in, up and down. And last one. And now we're doing swing kicks. Up with a foot and over. Step back, 2, 3 steps, swing. Over. Swing over, step back, 1, 2, 3 steps up. Over. Last two. And now we're doing 10 push-ups. Elbows close to the rib cage. And we're going down. First one. And second one. And the third one. And the fourth one. Fifth one. And the sixth one. And the seventh one. And the eighth one. And the ninth one. And the last one, the number 10. And now the hiker's hilltop stretch. Heel onto the ground, pull the toes in. Foot to the left and pull the toes in. Foot to the right and pull the toes in. And to the middle, pull the toes in, move the leg from left to right. Other heel onto the ground, pull the toes in. Foot to the right and pull the toes in. Foot to the left, pull the toes in, and move the leg from left to right. And we're ending with a trunk igniter. We come down, breathe in. Out. Again. Out. Breathe in, close the legs. And out. That was martial arts basic training. Thank you very much, and until next time.